Now while the day of the festival of Pentecost was in progress, they were all together at the same place. Suddenly there was a noise from heaven, just like that of a rushing, stiff breeze, and it filled the house where they were sitting. And tongues as if fire became visible to them and were distributed, and one came to rest on each one of them. And they all became filled with the Holy Spirit and started to speak in different languages, just as the Spirit enabled them to speak. At that time, devout Jews from every nation under heaven were staying in Jerusalem. So when this sound occurred, a crowd gathered and was bewildered, because each one heard them speaking in his own language. Indeed, they were utterly amazed and said, "See here, all these who are speaking are Galileans, are they not? How is it then that each one of us is hearing his own native language? Parthians, Medes, and Amalekites, the inhabitants of Mesopotamia, Judea and Cappadocia, Pontus and the province of Asia, Phrygia and Pamphylia, Egypt and the regions of Libya near Cyrene, sojourners from Rome, both Jews and proselytes, Cretans and Arabians. We hear them speaking in our languages about the magnificent things of God." Yes, they were astonished and perplexed, saying to one another, "What does this mean?" However, others mocked them and said, "They are full of sweet wine." But Peter stood up with the 11 and spoke to them in a loud voice. "Men of Judea, all you inhabitants of Jerusalem, let this be known to you, and listen carefully to my words. These people are in fact not drunk as you suppose, for it is the third hour of the day. On the contrary, this is what was said through the prophet Joel, and in the last days. God says, I will pour out some of my spirit on every sort of flesh, and your sons and your daughters will prophesy, and your young men will see visions, and your old men will dream dreams. And even on my male slaves and on my female slaves, I will pour out some of my spirit in those days, and they will prophesy. And I will give wonders in the heaven, above, and signs on the earth below, blood and fire and clouds of smoke. The sun will be turned into darkness, and the moon into blood, before the great and illustrious day of Jehovah comes. And everyone who calls on the name of Jehovah will be saved."